Hey everyone, it's David here from Team Ultra Instinct bringing you the new Unison Expansion sets. And right here, we're just going to dive right into them, looking at the two new cards revealed for each set. We have the Topo Leader out of the Universe 11 Unison Expansion. He's a basic when he attacks, you draw one, which is much better than being restricted to attacking a leader card. But his Awaken is a little bit interesting. We haven't seen this before because of the introduction of Unison cards. It actually interacts with that pretty well. But he can either awaken when you're at 4 or less life, or if you have a yellow Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play. So it has to have a specified cost of 2. I don't know what we're going to see in the future for Unison cards, but obviously it's going to work with the Vegeta Unison of Fury. But you may choose up to 2 of your energies, switch them to active mode, and then choose cards in your life and add them to your hand until you have 6 life left. So basically, you can't awaken and have 8 life is what they're trying to restrict you to. They're trying to make you go to at least 6. So I think that's fair enough. But the part that we really care about is actually his permanent on this side. He still has the basic when he attacks, draw a card, but his permanent is if you have a yellow Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play. When a player plays a battle card, this also affects yourself, keep that in mind, that player can't play battle cards for the turn. That is very restrictive. It forces your opponents to basically figure out how to get rid of your Unison card on the field. Unison cards aren't as easy to deal with as battle cards because the way they work, you have to get rid of all the markers on them to kill them, or in the future maybe we'll see something that can actually just straight up remove a Unison. But for now, that's what we're working with. I'm personally really interested in this Topo Leader. I think he'll be a good stall deck, but we'll have to see with more support that comes out. Now, as for Vegeta, Vegeta changed a little bit. He's not exactly the same as the trailer revealed, but I'll show that to everyone, the trailer difference between what we were revealed. But his activate main is once per turn, which is fair. We need that. You can choose this card or one of your battle cards and switch it to rest mode and add a marker to this. A marker, if you guys know what magic is, they have loyalty counters for planeswalkers. This is kind of similar to that, but the markers basically, he comes out with as many markers as basically what you pay for. So if you pay 2 of your energy for it, which is it's 2 specified yellow, so you have to at least pay 2. But 2, you can have 2 counters on it when it comes in, or if you pay 3 more. But these activate mains here with the -1 or the -3 is what affects its counters on it. So say you do the -1 on this, that would take off 1 counter. But we'll look at the activate mains here for the counters. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards with energy cost greater than their current energy until the end of their next turn. That's going to be really good. I mean, that stops a lot of evolution. It stops Boo Chain. It's just really good overall. And then his activate main here is choose up to one of your opponent's energy and switch it to rest mode. And then this card gets plus 5k power and double strike and dual attack. Now that's really strong. It's more of a question of if you're going to actually end up using the -3 while he's out. The -1 is really good already, but I don't know. I think he'll be good. He should see a lot of play, but it all depends on what we see with the further support that comes out. Going into the Universe 7 Unison expansion, we have the Vegeta with the basic draw one when he attacks. When you're at 4 or less life, you can awaken, or if your opponent has 3 or more energy and you have a red Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in place, so the Go Tanks, for instance, you may draw 2 cards and then choose cards in your life and add them to your hand until you have 6 left in your life. That's fair. They don't want you being at 8 life. His Awakened side, this really combos well with Go Tanks. It's really good. But he only gets the auto once per turn for drawing a card because he will get dual attack if he gets his power decreased. Pretty good. Basically, with Go Tanks, he's going to become a 20k, but you can buff him other ways. But what Go Tanks does is when your leader card is power, its power is decreased by skill, it gets 10k power. And that's not a once per turn auto, so if you find a way to do that more than once, that would be pretty solid. But his activate main is actually a +1 here instead of Vegeta's -1. We choose up to 1, so that means you could choose 0 cards in your life and add it into your hand, and then choose one of your leader cards and it gets -5k power for the turn. Pretty solid. I mean, the +1 just gets him up there for more. And with the Vegeta, you know, he can be a 20k hitter. The -2 is actually really solid in my opinion. You look at your opponent's hand, choose up to 1. Oh yeah, up to 1. I thought I read it wrong. Up to 1 multicolor battle card or battle card with 10k power or less. So it could be a multicolor battle card. Doesn't matter the power on it. As for the battle card, it has to be Like if it's just a regular monocolored battle card, it would have to be 10k power or less. But could be good. Could be good against Surge Goku. It can get rid of some SCRs, but obviously not the monocolored ones. So, but I still think that'll be really solid. Being able to look at your opponent's hand at any time of the game is really good. And then let's show you the slight differences we see here. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry. I'm not going to pull it up all the way. But basically, so for this one, we didn't have choosing a life, which I think is interesting. But yeah, and then that one was -4, and it was a lot more different. Choose all of your mono red unison cards and battle cards, and they get plus 5k power and double strike for the turn. That is severely different from what we see here. I don't know what made them think about changing this. Maybe they thought it was too good, but I don't know. I kind of like this one more. At the same time, the other one's really good for aggro, but it is a -4 compared to this -2. So I don't know. I don't know which one I prefer. As for the Vegeta, the activate main on this was nuts. It said your opponent couldn't play battle cards with energy cost greater than their current energy. Yeah, that's insane. That this one is a lot bigger of a nerf, obviously. I think they thought it might have been unfair, but I don't know. And then it looks like this one did not change at all. Honestly, yes, I would have preferred this version of it, but is what it is. I see that they're just trying to make it a little bit fair. So those are the differences, though. We do have some of the Q&A posted here. They basically updated us telling that the Unison expansions are being pushed back to May 29th for the release, but they decided to drop some Q&As as for the new cards that were revealed. Question 1 is, you activate Unison cards -1 skill. Can you activate that card's +2 skill later in the same turn? So basically they're saying this skill here, if you activate one of these, you can't activate another during the turn. Now, maybe there will be a card that'll allow it to do more than one per turn. Probably not for a long time. I do think these cards are going to be really good in the meta. Maybe not meta warping, but that has yet to be seen with further support that comes out. But so yeah, basically Unison card skills can only be used once per turn. And this is an exception because that's not what they're talking about. Just the cards with the counters. Now, you have a Unison card with 2 markers on it. Can you activate its -3? So you cannot go into the negatives with it. If you're going to do it, it either has to have a cost of 3 or more to be able to use it. Question 3. During a battle where your Unison card is being attacked, can you combo? So you can't combo during the defense step, which I think is interesting. I don't know what made them think about it. Maybe they thought it was some balancing. I mean, you can still negate and stuff like that. Personally, not sure how I feel about this, but maybe they found something in testing where they saw that this is necessary, where you just can't combo in the defense step. But you can during the offense step, which I think is good at least. Puts on pressure, I mean, obviously, with the Vegeta. Well, yeah, mostly the Vegeta, because the Gotenks doesn't have that insane skill of the video here. But, yeah. I don't know. I think that's interesting. We'll see more on it in the future, but this is what we currently have there. If the skills on a Unison card are negated and the markers placed in the drop, or removed, not in the drop. No, they're not removed, so they just stay in the card. I think that's fair. I don't know why they would even remove them. I'm surprised that's a question that actually came up. But they do have some slight more Q&A in here. So do you take a life when your Unison card is attacked and loses the battle? Do you send a Unison card that has been attacked and lost the battle to the drop area? So no, just a marker is removed based on each strike. So single strike, obviously that's not actually a keyword, but if it's 1 damage, it's only going to take off 1 counter. Double strike, it's going to take off 2 counters. Triple strike, 3 counters, so on. Remove markers from the Unison card for the amount dealt with life, and then when it runs out of markers, so only when it runs out of markers is it placed in the drop. And then can you attack a Unison card that is in active mode? Yes. So that's basically, it's treating it like another leader, which is what it was advertised as. But yeah, we should see some pretty solid use out of these cards. I do think they made them a little less impactful on the meta, but I'm not saying that they're not impactful at all. They're just not as insane as what the video was showing and what we were speculating. People thought that you can go infinite with this, but after being told in the Q&A that the card can only have 1 usage out of its activates, I think it's a lot more fair. With what they've been telling us so far, it's been a huge help to us as players. Hopefully, these cards see a lot of play. I'd actually like to see them played. And I'm not entirely sure if we're getting the card or the deck increase once these expansions drop. I kind of hope they do, but at the same time, it's fair if they don't. But yeah, look out for these cards in the meta. I do think we'll be seeing those be played a lot. Obviously, with their pushback date of May 29th, we won't see them for a bit. I don't know how this is going to affect future sets, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the update here, and leave a comment in the comment section below and let us know what you want to see. Later, guys.